I know that there are people who have been training on the wooden dummy for years, yet they can't stand against a single opponent in a street fight. Let me shock you and tell you that the reason isn't the moves, but the way they learn the wooden dummy. It's not a means of display or an artistic form, because if you train on it incorrectly, it will instill wrong habits in you that will fail you in a street battle. And that's what we will explain today. The 3 most dangerous mistakes that 90% of trainees make when practicing on the wooden dummy. The first mistake you make in front of the dummy is not understanding the mechanics that go along with it. You think you can stand in front of the dummy, hitting with all your strength, and of course you're happy that you're hitting the dummy with power, not realizing that this could put you in a very dangerous defensive position. When I hit like this and feel the power in my strike, if the opponent is in front of me and I strike with force, I am stepping out of the center line and putting myself in a dangerous defensive position. So I can perform my technique with power and stability, but I also need to maintain my center. Additionally, you might think that the skill is going in this direction, whereas the skill is supposed to, pay attention to the difference, be here. And the practice here is going towards the center, in the direction of the dummy, not here. Do you understand me like this? Not like this, okay? This way, I am doing the technique correctly with the rotation of my torso, from here to here to here. It's not just that I will do the technique outward, 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 and feel like I'm doing it with power, but in reality, I'm moving out of my center again, which is a mistake. You enter quickly and strike with force, thinking that speed is power, but the truth is that speed without awareness is just chaos. The third mistake, and this is the most dangerous, is that you memorize the form without understanding the actual essence of applying these movements in a real battle on the street. And this is what makes you execute the same move on your opponent in the street, only to be surprised that it didn't work. This leaves you stuck in the movement range with the technique itself. Yes, I apply the technique here and know how to apply it in the street. It might differ in substance and method, but from the start, you must know how to stand in front of the dummy. The dummy's arm, so you understand. It's not just about being far, close, or at a medium range. Each distance has specific techniques we execute. Let's say the dummy's forearm or arm is your opponent's forearm. This is not the fist. On the contrary, it's the opponent's elbow. The fist should be here, so the technique I will execute depends on whether I am far or close. Exactly. I execute it here when I'm close because this is the opponent's elbow and I act accordingly. My technique is to close off the opponent's defenses from here, immobilize them, and trap them so I can handle the situation. This is for short range. For medium range, I use medium range technique. The first real movement of the Tan Sao Desos with the advancing straight punch is when I stand in front of the dummy like this from my center. When I execute the movement, I don't want my Tan Sao to just push outward and that's it, as much as I want to have rotation with the strike at the same time. I don't perform the movement and strike separately. I want rotation with the movement. My hands, my torso, the strike, 3 steps combined into 1 step. From here, rotate with the strike. Your hand doesn't block. Your hand controls the entire center line. And if you don't understand this point, all the upcoming training will have no value. You also need to understand that the strike comes from the structure, not from the shoulder. The focus here is not on the strike, but on the angle, the timing, and the correct movement path. But wait a moment, don't think that this is just a movement on the dummy, no. This movement has 3 real-life applications that could save you in a real situation. But before I explain them, I need to answer a very critical question. Is practicing on the dummy just training, or is it a complete tactical scenario? I will answer you in the next episode. Then you will know how to turn the practice into a tactical system that no one can stop. If you're interested in continuing with this series, you should know that this is just 5% of the complete educational content in the training series. In it, you will see all the detailed applications of the form and practical exercises for each movement with direct correction of your mistakes with me. Click on the link in the description box and subscribe now before the offer ends. Remember, a smart player doesn't just imitate, they understand first. So, like the video, confirm your presence in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell, because what's coming is much stronger.